to vote for your own people's interests, but to go out there and try to get them votes for the party. We don't need that. We need folks to whip up votes for our interests. And if the Republicans who are in office and are in control right now are met with malice from the Democrats, and this is my belief, that on the next go round, when people see that, those white folks out in the municipalities and in those counties who already are in charge going to put that man back in there. But not only that, we're going to lose a whole lot of power, what little bit of power that we got now. We don't have the power we used to have when we had folks like Frank Conaway in there, Pete Rollins in there, Clarence Blount in there, Larry Young in there. We don't have that. We don't have that anymore.
Why?
And until we get an exciting candidate in the city, possibly for 2016 for mayor,
Linda Conaway.
okay?
Yes.
Somebody who can, like when Kurt Schmoke first ran, had little old ladies and little old men on walkers and in wheelchairs getting to the poll to vote. We are going to lose all of our perspectives and all the power that we have. And make no mistake about it, there's a Republican wave in this country right now.
Yes.
And even in 2016 with Hillary or whoever the Democrats put up, most likely they ain't gonna get the South. The Republicans have set it up now that it's gonna be hard as hell for any Democrat to win the South. Okay? So what they gotta depend on is either we get tired of living in these urban areas and move our butts back down to the South and take over politics, or either in the areas where we can make a difference, we got to get up off of our butts and go to the polls and get our children 18 and over to also go out and vote. That's the only way we're going to survive.
We've got time for 3 questions. Anybody have a question from the panel? Yes, ma'am, in the very back over here.
I have a question. I don't see where the Baltimore City delegation, which is predominantly black, has benefited my community or myself. So that's why I didn't support Anthony Brown. I didn't think he was good for us. I didn't think he did anything as lieutenant governor. And I think when he was delegate and over the whip committee, he was against the blacks. And I don't think we should vote for people because he would be the first black governor. So I didn't agree with most of what you said, because right now I see us as having a position of having a platform to present to a party when we didn't have a platform to present to a party before. The Democrats wasn't looking for what we wanted. The Republicans right now are courting our vote, and it's up to us to bring something to them instead of us sitting like what they gonna give us, what we gonna bring to them.
I would absolutely agree with what you're saying. And I'm sorry he's not here tonight, but if Reverend P.M. Smith was here, he would tell you, okay, if you do not want to switch parties, which he has not advocated for any of us to do, then we need a new Democrat.
Yeah, you can.
We need new people who's going to run against some of these same people that you just talked about who are not representing you or me in our best interest to come forward and not be scared. And folks are going to take money. You can't run on air.
That's right.
You can't run on air. We had a guy call every week. Most of you heard his name. He ran for sheriff on the Republican side, David Anthony Wiggins. But every time I asked him about a fundraiser, how he was going to do, where he was getting his money from, he couldn't come up with an answer. You got to get some money. You can't run on air.
Yes, ma'am.
You?
Yes.
and I always hear you advocate against the black community with children are dying and parents don't have no insurance. And I constantly hear you talk about what advice can you give to our community, at least the people that are here, to pass the word, to assist in that particular crisis that our community face with burying their family members 2-3 weeks later. I've heard you say no money to bury the son or the daughter. That's another crisis in our community.
I'll try to be as brief as I can. The basic thing is insurance. And that's how I really originally started my show, was talking about and trying to get people to go out and get life insurance in case something happens to you. Just like I just said not too long ago. You go to the lotto machine, you go to the liquor store, you go find the man to put that stuff up your nose, you go find the man to put that thing in your arm. That money, if you took that money to invest in some kind of insurance policy, we would not have that problem.
All right. Yes, sir.
And I do bury social service.
One of the things that I wanted to piggyback on something that Carlton said, on your municipalities, you have approximately over 215 black Republicans across the state. So don't get it twisted when you hear these talking points about white folk brought Larry Hogan in and Boyd Rutherford. And one of the other things that we as a community have to remember is that Larry Hogan and Boyd Rutherford were the point guys for Coppin State University being what it is today. And the sad thing about it is Martin O'Malley and that Brown guy tried to take the money away from it. And we as Republicans, and I'm a proud Republican and a proud Baltimorean who has brought to this community a sense of dignity and pride, and we need to stop bringing these okey-doke folk in just because they got name recognition. Howard County figured it out about the 7th Congressional, maybe Baltimore City needs to figure it out.
Thank you very much.
Because we had two non-political questions.
And actually, this is actually not a question, more of a statement of what we need to do. What I feel like we need to do, we need to educate. We need to get into our schools and educate our children. Our families are lost and they are broken. So if we can't get to our children so that our children can take it home to their parents, what are we going to do? Our families are broken and we need to do that. If we don't get our families together,
Let's give her a round of applause, please. She's running the money.